Okay, so what am I gonna say? Um, wanted to just update anyone who's concerned. So as we have one-on-one meetings with our with our supervisor every week, had mine today. Saw it on the schedule and was like, oh boy, here we go. But wasn't really all that bad. You know, I explained some things to her, but I sort of tried to be nebulous. But I don't want to like name names and be like, well, Bob's a big jerk to me because da 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 da. I don't want to be that kind of. And there's nobody named Bob on the team, but I did not want to be like that when it came to sort of explaining a bit of my situation to a supervisor. I just wanted to sort of let me see. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Just turn off the car. Wait for a second, and yeah, okay, cool. Um, but she was clear that she doesn't want like a hostile working environment. So if I ever feel like anyone in particular is trying to like rush me at work, or is like seems to be getting annoyed or angry at me because I'm like still learning a process and I'm not like super quick about it. That's not the way it's supposed to be, that sort of thing. So that's like a huge weight off my shoulder, because I was getting the perception that there was, this like narking going on and folks being like, oh, I'm going to tell on you, like it was middle school again. But, I guess it's not 100% the case. I mean, obviously, if you do mess up on something like, major, then obviously, folks are going to get notified and all that. But, anyways, other than that, which is kind of, neutral, I guess you could say, I don't know if I really went to extreme, like, details to what the nightmare was about that I had, but, I mean, I was, like, laughing about it earlier today, like, and I kind of looked a bit weird, like, giggling behind my face mask, but, it was, like, the stuff that I can remember, it had to do with there was, like, half of it that had to do with, like, work stress type stuff, and then the other half had to do with, it was, maybe like a manifestation of that, but it was this sort of thing where I was being attacked by some monster, which is like a bug fish monster or something, and it was like trying to like, it was trying to eat my arm. And okay, the funny thing about that, why I'm laughing, is that it was okay. The reason when I woke up, I was like half asleep and I thought that something had really happened to my arm, was because I had fallen asleep on my arm. And circulation gets cut off, and so like your arm falls asleep, or like your foot falls asleep or whatever, but my arm was asleep, and I thought that I had lost my arm. I'm looking at it going, wait, my arm's there, but it feels like it's not there. Oh my god, what happened? And I'm like, thinking the monster was still like latched on, like it was like almost like I'd gone catfish noodling, and there was like this like mutant catfish with like like almost like piranha teeth with like bug antennas or something like that, latched onto my arm. And so I've had similar stuff happen in the past, not as often nowadays, but I got to my door, like I jumped up, I ran to my door, got in the hallway, and usually I would have like these like little slipper things on that I'd go wearing when I go to the restroom or so I wouldn't get my feet dirty, possibly with athlete's foot or whatever the heck the case may be. But I didn't have those on. I got into the hallway, and I think I let out one last and then I realized where I was at, and that's when I kind of I almost like stormed to the sink basically. I probably was walking really loudly. I mean, not the but kind of like that. And I was like, "God, man, what the heck, you know?" I was kind of like, you know, ticked at myself. But then I started, you know, splashing cold water on my face, and I'm just like talking to myself, going like, "What the heck, you know? Like, come on, man," you know, that sort of thing. And that's when, you know, the landlady came over and was like asking if I was sick, and she made me some like ginger tea and, you know, some nice stuff like that. You know, that was comforting. But it's sort of like now I'm now I'm gonna have to explain, because this kind of stuff has happened before, but not as like not as serious. Like usually it would be like, okay, I get to standing in my doorway looking out, going like, the heck? I'm I'm at home. What? Oh, come on, not again. You know, that sort of thing. And needless to say, part of it is because I have a really active imagination. If you haven't been able to tell, because I can take events that happen in life and turn them into a, you know, really long, dramatic sort of like, you know, thing, and analyses and over analyzing and whatnot. But um, you know, I think I've developed an understanding of certain things, but like, you know, that ability to analyze stuff is, you know, useful and all, especially if you're an engineer, or, you know, scientist. But combine that with a very traumatic experience I had back when I was 22, where I was robbed at gunpoint. I was mugged, and, you know, essentially the guy held a gun to my forehead, and that was back when I had hair. But yeah, that's caused, you know, recurring night terrors over the last several years. I mean, it used to happen like every week or every month. Um, Now it's like, you know, it's like it'll come in bouts. You know what I'm saying? Like it might be like, let's say over 3 or 4 month period, I might have multiple times of that, but then it'll go through like 3 or 4 or 5, maybe even 6 months where that just doesn't happen. And you know, it's not as intense. You know what I'm saying? Like this is probably the worst it's gotten in a while. But man, I'm thinking that that these folks I live with, if they haven't figured it out by now, they're probably thinking, man, there's something wrong with that guy. I think there's something wrong with that guy. And it's like, oh really? He just figured that out, huh? But I really hope. I mean, my dad was just calling, so I'm gonna have to call him back. But he may have heard about it himself, but I know him and the rest of my family know about what happened, and you know, those such issues, and he kind of went through a similar experience himself back in 1971, living through a revolution and surviving a genocide. And I'm sure part of him is still kind of, is sort of back there, you know, like you never really like 100%, never 100%, you know, leave it behind, so to speak. It kind of like stays with you. So I was just putting up the parking placard so that don't get a ticket or anything. But yeah, those are that's a couple of things I wanted to talk about. But yeah, it's still day 108. I got to get home, rewrite the homework solutions that I solved the problems, and then figure out how to upload those. Trying to do that several hours, at least before the deadline, just in case there's some issue. But what else? One other thing happened today. I got a message from some old coworker from the last place I worked at, just asking, what's up, how are you doing, miss you, buddy, that sort of thing. And I suppose it's a good sign that I at least left some folks with some good memories of me, that they would reach out to me, you know, if sort of, oh, what's he up to? So, that sort of thing, like, cross their mind, and be like, oh, screw that guy. Be like, hey, I wonder what he's up to. Wonder how he's doing, Um, which, I'm kind of surprised to a certain extent, because, there was, there were days, let's put it that way, when my behavior might have gone on the annoying side. Even if I was trying to joke around, it was just kind of like, oh, not the time. But anyways, that's it. That's it for now, at least. So anyways, I'll see you folks around. Bye-bye.